G'day guys, Deadpool here. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at the greatest movie ever to be put on celluloid. Or was it filmed on digital? I'm not too sure. I didn't really do any research into this one because I couldn't be bothered. Anywho, here is my spoiler-filled review, my spoiler-free review, or is it? Of the latest movie from 20th Century Fox and Marvel Entertainment. Starring the ever-dashing Ryan Reynolds, or at the very least some bloke in a red suit pretending to be Ryan Reynolds. Also starring Thanos and superhero Foxy Brown. There's got a bunch of others too, but I seebs. It is of course the greatest movie ever made, Deadpool 2. Oh yeah. Okay, I can't do it anymore. I'm gonna cut the shtick. I'm very sorry about that. And to confirm, this is a spoiler-free review. Let's get into it. As with most superhero movies these days, it's difficult to do a review by going in-depth on the plot, especially when the trailers are filled with so many red herrings and misdirections. Suffice to say, Deadpool 2 sees the return of Deadpool, the merc with the mouth, on another crazy, violent, super funny adventure. This time round, Wade Wilson is on a personal vendetta, which sees him crossing paths with the time-traveling baddie Cable, who is on a personal vendetta, a kid with fire fists, who is also on a personal vendetta, and a bunch of other superheroes pals who are, well, they're just kind of here for the ride. Okay, at the top of this review, I'm just going to be completely honest. I've never really been an enormous fan of the first Deadpool movie. Yes, I'm one of those party poopers who thought it was just completely overrated, but Deadpool 2 completely took me by surprise. As expected, the movie packs an enormous punch and absolutely outdoes its predecessor in every way possible. It's funnier, more violent, and offers up some even better characters. But the great thing about Deadpool 2 is that while it plays it dangerously with some pretty outrageously hilarious un-PC gags and squeamish sequences, it's very smart too. And that is a word I never thought I'd use to describe this franchise. Deadpool 2 pushes the boundary farther than before on almost every level, but doesn't overdo it or do it to the expense of the movie. It knows where to stop and where to pull back. Too many of these kinds of movies set out to outdo its predecessor and find itself bogged down into nothing more than a try-hard subpar knockoff. I'm looking at you, Hangover Part 2. I'm also looking at you, Police Academy 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There's also plenty of new characters to become acquainted with in Deadpool 2. Cable is an absolute favourite who Josh Brolin, fresh off playing Thanos in Avengers Infinity War, plays terrifically. There's a lot about his performance that is actually very reminiscent of Thanos, but I actually think that that's the point. This movie is just incredibly on the nose in every way possible. Domino is also an absolute scene stealer. The character is so good, and actress Zazie Beetz is so terrific in the role. So terrific that I can imagine Kevin Feige is incredibly jealous he can't have her in the MCU right now. I know I am. I think she would fit in with the universe so well, and I would love to see her off on an adventure with Black Widow. The movie finds itself absolutely loaded with pop culture references, turning a nod and a wink literally to not only the X-Men franchise, which this movie finds itself loosely connected to, but also to the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the DC Extended Universe too. Every reference is done with such style and such class, as is every single breaking of the fourth wall, which works so incredibly well in this movie, and maybe even more so than it did in the first one. At that, there is a lot going on in this movie. I wouldn't say too much, but it's almost bordering on being overloaded. This is certainly nothing that took away from the movie or my enjoyment of it, but it kind of did feel like this movie was chopping and changing its plot fairly frequently. But thankfully, the movie manages to pull together all its threads and loose ends in the final act. In the end, the movie is a whole bundle of fun. With every hilarious gag and every spectacularly choreographed action sequence, the movie delivers everything you expected and more. And if you expected something else from this movie other than just a whole bundle of fun, then you are just going to have the worst time humanly possible. However, that being said, underneath the comedy comic book facade is actually a great deal of heart. And again, something I didn't expect to find in this movie. Wilson's personal journey throughout the movie and that of the supporting characters are perfectly perfectly crafted. This is a movie that knows it has a job to do as an outrageous comedy, but doesn't sacrifice heart, narrative, and great storytelling in spite of it. It borrows the MCU or even the Logan formula and sets out to tell a great story first and foremost that its audience can connect and relate to, something very few superhero movies manage to do. Okay, look, despite how my mate Deadpool prefaced this review, this may not be the greatest movie ever made, and honestly, I don't think anyone really is expecting it to be, but I think it actually is one of the best superhero movies I have actually ever seen, if not only for the fact that this is such a big bundle of unapologetic fun, but especially for the way that this movie just manages to be itself while also knowing where to pull back and where to focus on the heart and soul. For me, Deadpool 2 gets a very easy 4 Deadpools out of 5. Deadpool 2 is an ostentatious and outrageous superhero comedy, but thanks to its wonderful storytelling, it finds itself with a lot of heart and beautifully crafted storytelling. I can't wait to go on further adventures with these characters. Thank you to my new mates over at 20th Century Fox for inviting me to a preview screening of Deadpool 2 for the purposes of this review, and thanks to absolutely everybody out there for watching. Come on guys, you really weren't listening to what that idiot Dave had to say, were you? This is the greatest movie ever made! Yes, 100 Davepools out of 5, yes! Now it's time for Davepool's super spoilery review of Deadpool 2! I'm really sorry about that, guys. See you later. If this is your first time viewing my channel, if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like this in the future, then please hit that big old subscribe button up on your screen right now and hit that like button down below. Also, don't forget to check out my many social media accounts and please consider supporting me over on Patreon. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope I'll see you all again soon. Until next time, take care and I hope you have a wonderful day.